Welcome back. This is live. This is Sports Extravaganza. My name is Tony Kolanda. Thank you for staying with TV47. Every Saturday, 4 p.m. all the way to 7 p.m. we offer you the best sports cuisine in the country. Asante sana for staying with us. If you're joining us, we earlier had the Anti-Doping Agency. Nilikuwa nataka niwaweke kwa mkutano na watu na wangwana wa Aquatics, lakini watu wa doping wameenda kukunywa chai kidogo. Hasa penye of course watu Aquatics wametoka. But of course we are here to engage, to hear and find out exactly how the state of swimming is in the country. But just before I bring them, tuna swali, question of the day. Najua watu wanasema, Tony, swali of the day mbona utupatii? Because of course it will be leading up to our conversation in football. We are asking you, there was that football transfer. Nitauliza hata kina Munene na kina Mbati na Veronica, which team they support in the Premier League, watuambie, na hapa pia Kenya ni timu gani wanashabikia. Naona Veronica anakaa mtu wa Man U. What are your thoughts about the footballers that were hired and fired during the transfer window? Talk to us. The numbers of course will be scrolling below your screen, as well as our social media platforms. Tuongeleshe pale. What are your thoughts about footballers hired and fired by your team? Mimi kama Chelsea tumefurahi sana, squad iko gangari. We don't even need to hire much because squad tuko na team A mpaka D. Talk to us kwenye SMS ni 22047. Namba ya simu iko pale chini. Na of course pia unaweza tupigia simu, WhatsApp line iko wazi, mtaziona hapo chini ya screen, tuongeleshe. But right now of course nataka tuingie matters to do with swimming in the country. Hapa I want to put my guests on the spot because I used to swim when I was in nilikuwa na swim wapi? Yeah, I swam in Kakamega Sports Club, iko na swimming hapo. After starting my swimming in River Isiolo, huko ndo nilikuwa na swim. But of course, this particular afternoon, I am honored and privileged, of course, to be having, first of all, ladies first, Veronica Maina, who is the coach, of course, of the junior national team. Veronica, karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
Una support Arsenal leo kweli ama uongo?
Arsenal leo kweli.
Karibu sana, Veronica.
Thank you.
We also have George Munene, who is of course liaison officer at Kenya kwa Aquatics. Karibu sana. Nimesema vizuri, tupatie position yako vizuri. Liaison officer
Kenya Aquatics.
Liaison officer Kenya Aquatics.
And honorary member Kiambu County Aquatic Association.
Yeah, very important positions as well. George Munene. Then of course we have Nesmas Mbati, who's a public relations officer, Kiambu Aquatics.
Yes.
Hapo tumepata. Karibuni sana gentlemen and lady on Sports Extravaganza.
Thank you.
Wacha tuanze na Veronica, coach. Team inaendeleaje? Mimi nitakuuliza kitu cha kwanza, tujueni swali lazima. Niliuliza, one of the viewers alisema, Tony, uliza tu huyo Veronica. Muna selecting aje athletes wa junior? And of course that's the feeding program into the senior.
All right. So first of all, most of our swimmers, they have to undergo training.
Yes.
And also swimming meets, swimming competition.
Yes.
So unapata kama hizi international meets, kuna a certain time lazima huyo swimmer akuwe ameachieve. So unapata kama saa hizi different counties are organizing swimming competitions. And kuna sasa ile ya national yenye inakupatia hiyo ticket ya kwenda inje. So utapata most of these junior swimmers already washa kuwa embrace kwa hiyo system ya kuswim, competing, and also in their mind wanajua what they are aiming for. So kama saizi unapata kuna calendars already zimesha toka for the next 2 years. So all the swimmers who are maybe who really want to take part in those events, already saizi washaanza kukua na zile preparation, also from the coaches too, because the coaches have been included also kwa hii system. So it's a teamwork of parents, the swimmers, and the coaches. So overall, anyone can take part as a child under 18, but lazima pia akue ready for competition na training hard, si rahisi. Swimmers wanalia, wengine wana quit in the middle, but for us as coaches is to support them.
Yeah.
And also help them achieve their best times. Yeah.
Indeed, true. Let me bring also George. George Munene, swimming in the country. Swimming, I'm trying to compare. I'll be very unfair. I'm trying to compare swimming and, for example, rugby or football. In popularity wise, of course, so unajua tu watu wa football. Why is it that swimming imenyamaza? From where I sit, I could be wrong, I could be right. Why do you feel like, or someone who is actually coming to Kenya, be like, there's a lot of football talking, but swimming, mambo imenyamaza. Where are we as a country in matters to do with swimming? And of course, carrying from what Veronica has mentioned, because people feel like, hizi Aquatic Federation hata zitupatia hata chance ya ensure that swimming is popular and also being people involved in it.
First and foremost, you must recognize the fact that we had a ban internationally from World Aquatics for almost 8 years due to the wrangles of the adults, maybe fighting over the positions. And that had a very detrimental effect on the uptake of swimming. The other thing is that swimming appears to be a bit of an elitist sport because of the facilities and the money that is involved. But at the end of the day, we are trying to demystify that. And this is why we are trying to encourage all the counties. Actually, we are targeting the 47 counties.
Yes, very important.
And we are really trying as much as possible to see that even if they have a swimming within a hotel, that is where people should be going. And where there is also a national school or a school, we have a swimming pool, it should encourage all the schools around. And with this CBC, it is really trying to bring up swimming. And therefore, we are thinking as we move forward, it is something that is going to be embraced nationally. We expect that all the people, and this is our appeal as a national federation, if you have that infrastructure, charge reasonably so that almost every other person can manage to take part in it.
And I'll come, of course, to ask you what will be the incentives. Because if I have, like I know in Kakamega, I'll ask you that later on, but the incentives that you can give these particular hotels or schools or clubs that have swimming pools so that they can be happy to bring everybody else so swimming can be popular. Hiyo nitakuuliza ndio, unajua pia mimi niko na interest kwa ile shule hoteli ilifunza swimming, nataka waambie mapema ndio waseme wafuate mnene kule kwa federation aweze kwa incentives. But of course, let me bring in Mbati now. Mbati from Kiambu, from what Munene has mentioned, how we popularizing and this sport in Kiambu County. Of course, najua sasa tuko kwa border ya Kiambu na Nairobi. How popular is this sport in Kiambu County, and what are the things that you're doing to make now Kiambu shine? Because kuna kadhaa mko nao ambao wako kwa national teams.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the invite first, Tony. We are really honored to be on this platform.
Karibu sana.
Yes. First and foremost, Kiambu has gone a notch higher. As Kiambu Aquatics, we are not talking of just taking swimming to the grassroots. We are talking about making swimming to be inclusive of special needs children, physically handicapped children, public schools children. We are doing that. And one of the ways that we have done that is we have been having identified some public schools. I'll mention Joytown, which is a school for the disabled. There are also other schools that we give them free participation, public schools. That is one way that we are going about it. Mugoine is one of the beneficiaries of that system, and many others. Secondly, the other thing that we are really doing is to try and see how do we make swimming affordable. Because the truth of the matter is swimming is an expensive sport. Facilities are expensive. And in that regard, we have had serious engagements with the county government of Kiambu. And I really wish to take this opportunity to thank Governor Matiang'i and his very able CEC, Ms. Honorable Osman, for taking steps to ensure there is a facility built by the county. Right now, as we are talking, Thika Stadium is building a facility for public for swimming. And from Thika, there is going to be Kanjeru is coming up, a public swimming pool. And we want to, the other thing that is coming up, and I've had this engagement with the CEC, is that we are going to have a Governor's Cup for swimming. And this is going to embrace, to take swimming to the grassroots. And last but not least, the other initiative that we are having in partnership with the Kiambu County government is to take swimming to the ECD schools, because that is within their mandate. So we are working on that, and the first step is going to be there's going to be a TOT training of trainers, so that we have teachers who can go down there based within the ECD system to be teaching swimming in nursery schools.
Yes. Well done on that on Kiambu. And of course, I'm glad to hear that about the county government of Kiambu with the Governor Matangi, of course, in terms of popularizing the sport. Coach Veronica, some of the champions that we have had as a country for your national team, junior, you can also sneak in senior if I'm sure you have relations in that. The achievements so far. I remember, Maria ni senior. Ni senior. But in junior category, how are we faring regionally, continentally, and of course internationally?
All right, let me first talk about the just concluded African Junior Championship that took place in Cairo,
yes,
where I was the assistant coach. We took 9 swimmers, 5 boys and 4 girls. So we had swimmers like Johari, who did really well. We had swimmers who, they did not get the gold, yes, but most of them, they really improved their personal best times, which to me, I really celebrate them, because being among 32 countries taking part in that event, I think our swimmers, they came out really well, even though there were some hardships here and there, both mentally, physically, because it's not easy. They were supposed to train every morning, they had a break and then they come back again. So for me, it's just to say that where we are right now with the swimmers, they're really doing good, and especially now that we are preparing them for the now adult world, because remember, these swimmers are 18 and under. So as time goes by, I believe in them, and even if we are not participating in those international meets, as far as training is concerned, they are coming out, and most of them, they are really looking forward to these competitions, because remember, swimming right now, it's also considered as one way of getting maybe scholarships in universities. Yeah. So I also want all the parents also to think out loud, not only football or volleyball, they can also consider swimming too.
And it's important whether we bring in Munene, George, these swimmers, we have many of them, and you have the task of course, together with other personnel to select. What do you have competitions? For the benefit of someone who's watching for the first time this particular show and they're meeting the Aquatics Federation, do we have leagues? Of course, personally, I'll be knowing that. But do we have competitions, both locally, regionally, and internationally? That, of course, Veronica has mentioned it, that we try to go to, but maybe due to lack of funds and all that. How often do we have these leagues, these competitions, so that at least we can prepare our swimmers and give them a chance really now to rub shoulders with the those very experienced?
Okay, I would want to say that the Kenya Secondary School Sports Association organizes swimming in actually what they call their first term games. And therefore, that is a catchment area where we are even able to see or to tap the talent. Then we have counties organizing. Like today, I know Embu was having a gala, Sindigishu were having a gala, Kiambu were having Minos, so, and Mombasa possibly were also having. And privately, people are also organizing these kind of galas. And therefore, from that point, is where we check on who is better in terms of times, because times is what determines who becomes a winner. And from that, we are able to have national competitions. After the national competitions, we are able to select the best by the times. Then from there, if there is a regional competition, like we have had Mauritius, we have had Kigali, we have heard about Cairo, and then from there, we have been participating at the international level, like we had World Championship at Budapest. We had, before some swimmers went to Olympics, They had the time trials at Bahamas. So, and we really want to thank our government through the Ministry of Youth, Creative Arts and Sports, and NOC. They have always kitted our swimmers, and the ministry have always funded us. Much as there has been some politics and some power struggles, at least the current leadership of Kenya Aquatics, what was formerly Kenya Swimming Federation, is organizing and really pleading with the government to always support our swimmers. And that international exposure is actually enabling our swimmers to also get sponsorship and a scholarship by some of the universities. We have several of our swimmers who are out there at the universities, and they are, when they come back to compete, you can see that they are even posting better times than when they were training locally, because when you get out there and you see the kind of training facilities that they have, you find in one establishment there are about 6 pools within one area. So people are training, and Kasarani, of course, is also good because it has a diving pool, it has a training pool, and a baby pool, and then the main competition pool. But in other places, you find there are so many of them, and they're even able to do artificial ones, swimming pools. They come and bring an artificial swimming pool in a field like Nyayo Stadium at the middle of it. And that actually is what we are hoping, that as we move forward and as we get the support from all the stakeholders, and as counties also try as much as possible to ensure that swimming is getting roots from the country level, we will get somewhere.
Indeed. That's why, of course, it's very important. You mentioned about the facilities. I saw the same facilities in Morocco, for example, at a sports complex where they have football, all those things, but they have also swimming, an Olympic-sized swimming, and many others, just to encourage, besides just football, what waweze kuswim. Nesmas, how do you select, or how can someone in Kiambu, someone in Dumberi right now, who would like to swim, a parent who knows mtoto wangu anaweza asicheze football, how do you ensure that there is that knowledge within your county for them to easily bring their children, their boys and girls, to join the Kiambu Aquatics?
Thank you very much. Now, first and foremost, I wish to thank the CBE program that has made it mandatory for swimming to be in the school curriculum.
Yes.
So at this point, at least majority of the children are interacting with the swimming pool once a week. From that space, of course, there will be now children who are getting more interested in swimming, or parents who want their children to move to the next level.
Yes.
There has been an upspring of swimming academies and clubs, both private and community-based.
Yes.
Like in Kiambu County, we have quite a number. Supermarine is one of the best swimming club county, which is within our county. They train at Ruiru Sports Club. We have Water Warriors, which trains at BTL, Bible Translation and Literature Center in Limuru. I also own an academy called Pamoja Multisports International Academy. Within Kiambu area, we train at Idyllic Mistley House, and just across here at Village Inn, the new swimming pool there. We're also having some of our swimmers training there. Now, when the children get into this space of swimming clubs, which is the first step of your journey to the Olympics, whether at the school level or at the club level. And then I also would like to mention the fact that we also have some schools which have very, very strong swimming teams, because most of them, like Kiambu, we are really blessed to have very many schools with swimming pools. Hood Creek, just across here, Crawford has its own swimming pool, and so many others. You find that either at the club level or at the school level, the children are able to get access to swimming pools and training. Now, we up now from the first session a week. I usually tell my school managements and mostly school managements,
Yes.
the one lesson a week that is just to have fun, you're just enjoying and playing with water. Real training starts with at least 3 lessons a week. If you really want to produce a swimmer, start with 3 lessons a week. We're going forward. Now, from that level, you'll now be able to interact with what we call developmental galas. Developmental galas, these are galas that are organized by private individuals or private clubs or private associations, community clubs. This is the first level where swimmers begin to interact with competition. Here they use swimming aids like pool buoys, nodules, and kickboards. Just last week, we had Badea's Gala happening at M-Pesa Academy, where we had about 485 participants and about 1,000 entries. And in that gala, we had about 20 schools and clubs participating. Then from that level, now we move to the next level where we have now the age groups. Minos, let me talk about Minos, like today, we all the 3 of us, as you are seeing here, we are from M-Pesa Academy, we are having our Minos Gala. Minos Gala is the 9 years and below category. That is now the least age group that a swimmer can compete in. And this basically starts from 3 years. Children from 3 years going to 9 years. Now you see from that age group now, that's where now they start looking for qualifying times. Then from the Minos, of course, we'll have now, we are going to have an inter-clubs championship. Actually, the Minos today was the end of our calendar year of 2024, 2025. Today's was the last. So the new calendar year is starting in August. We are going to have an inter-clubs championship at Regis School. Now, we have the Minos, inter-clubs, sprint and relays. We have long course. All these events, invitational galas, all these events with where now swimmers get qualifying times to go to level 1. Then from level 1, they look for timings for level 2. Then from level 2, they look for timings for level 3. Now it is at level 3 you get qualifying times to participate in the national trials, like the ones we just had concluded 2 weeks ago at Kasarani, where we had 6 countries coming to participate. And then from there, we hand them over to Veronica and her team to take it up.
Because now that we have around 2 minutes and a half to finish, Veronica, upcoming competitions, events that we are looking forward to in the next 3 or 4 months or 6 months, what are they that Kenya is up against?
I think my parting shot before I get to the
please,
now that you have said that you have 2 minutes, I think my parting shot would be to the ladies who are in the coaching industry. I like to tell them they should not shy away from these positions, and when we are all together, both ladies and men, we make it easier and we make it better. Now for the upcoming events, I have my senior here, Mr. Munene. He should share with us so that I don't overstep.
His office, you don't know, you don't get into office. But Munene, you have a minute, of course, and also the incentives question I had asked you about. Uko na dakika moja kama unaweza. Carry on from Veronica, and also incentives, and also what you're expecting in events.
Thank you. My parting shot, because that is what I would just refer to it, is that first of all, Kenyans should know that the current management of swimming, that is the KAEC, together with the other committees that have been formed, the technical, the legal, the marketing, the coaching, all of them are working hand in hand to ensure that swimming is going to move to the next level. About the incentives, just as we have said in Kiambu, people, especially Kiambu, the swimming pools are so many. Then we are also trying to encourage other counties and governors, like even in Machakos, they are coming with a 50-meter pool. So we would wish they also complete it in good time, because that will make everybody who is even from the rural setup to also access swimming. Vika, you have had Kajero, you have had And I believe most of the governors are thinking about coming up with public pools. And once they do that, that is going to make swimming permeate even to the rural setups. And we are hoping that the hotels, the people having private swimming pools, and the schools, as we had said, the CEC of counties are also talking to them so that they can be giving free ride in swimming. Because especially now that the CBC is encouraging swimming at the very lowest level all the way up. That is actually part of what we are expecting that people will do without saying how much they used to clean the pools, because that is where they always talk about the cost of running swimming pools. It is part of what they can call corporate social responsibility. We are encouraging as much as possible. And the other thing I wanted to say is that our selection of coaches, swimmers, team managers has always been above board. And therefore, anybody who qualifies will get the opportunity. And will even get the opportunities of the scholarship that is out there. In terms of accountability, we are also very accountable in the way we are using the public funds. That is making everybody now also want to identify with us. There is an idea that we are really trying to sell to the corporate world to sponsor swimming, just as they do with football, and as they also do with athletics. Because there is a lot of future in swimming.
Very indeed. George Munene, liaison officer, Kenya Aquatics. Asante sana. Veronica Maina, coach of the junior national team, and of course doing a lot of exploits in there. And then Nesmas Mbati, the public relations officer, Kiambu Aquatics.
And last parting shot.
5 seconds.
Yes, I can see that coming. So
Yes.
5 seconds, give me 30 seconds. Now, very important, coming up, we have just selected the national team that is going to Singapore for the World Championship. Among them, we have Peter Ndegwa, we have Amara Thorpes, and we have this girl is called what?
Haniel Kuduli.
Yes, Hanel Kuduli, and this other girl for Nani Collins.
Imara Saramalia.
Yes, Saramos. The 4 athletes are going to represent Kenya in the World Aquatics. That is a big platform for us. We cannot fail mentioning that. And then next weekend, we are having the open water selection coming up in Mombasa. That is also very important mentioning up. And last but not least, I would like to say that on 28th of June, we are having a multi-sports selection for children to go to Cairo. We are partners of various companies that have come together to come at Kyoto School on 28th. There is swimming, football, skating, taekwondo, lawn tennis. They are all welcome. Come, and we select a team at the development stage to go for training in Cairo. Thank you.
Thank you, Nesmas Mbati.
Tony,
our time is...
One second.
I'll be getting out of end.
Just to mention the people who have actually come up to sponsor us, including Optiven Land Buying Company, ORS, Genesis, Ministry of Sports, NOC, and ZTech University. Just to mention the few who have really come up to sponsor us.
George Munene, Veronica Maina, thank you very much indeed for making time. Ladies and gentlemen, for of course coming to Sports Extravaganza. We hope, of course, to be engaging more on this show. We're taking a very short break. We'll be back after this very short moment.
Thank you.